This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Finding out it was a 28-year-old man was a little bit of a bummer for sure. Just to think that an adult is out there doing this kind of stuff.
By this kind of stuff, she means attacking cars with a slingshot. Sounds like a bad teenage prank, but again, it was a 28-year-old man that police arrested for these attacks. We're going to share just how long this has been going on in Forest Grove, coming up in a few minutes. Plus,
make a bite out of it while it's lit.
While it's lit.
Say, oh, I'm kidding.
That was former Portland Trailblazer and NBA legend Bill Walton. He died yesterday at the age of 71. We'll have a look back on his life and the mark that he left on the basketball world coming up.
also this morning, we're getting into the Olympic spirit by highlighting the Northwest's only competitive swim team for athletes with physical disabilities. We're going to hear from the local Paralympian who's now working with the team.
Ooh, going to be a very cool story there. Glad you're here with us on this Tuesday. Lots to get to. I know Chris is tracking a fire on 84, but before we get to him, Rod, you're looking at weather.
We have rain coming back. Isn't that exciting?
Timing. Fired up by the rain.
Wow.
Here we go. Hope you had a nice weekend. Back to work Tuesday. You can see the rain just now starting to push inland up in Clatsop County around Astoria. That's a steady shot of light rain. Clouds are still coming in and thickening over downtown where we are dry. Doesn't look like we're going to see any sun today once we get going. 57 is the temperature. The rain coming into Portland mostly after the morning commute hours through 9 o'clock. So we'll go mainly light rain falling across the area anywhere from 10 o'clock this morning through about 3 or 4 this afternoon. So noon it'll be raining outside, 60 degrees. And then by 5 o'clock it looks like most of that's out of here. There will be a shower chance and it will be overcast and 62. Here's Chris.
We want to take you out to Troutdale on Interstate 84. We're getting word of, and actually we can now see what looks like some sort of a fire on the Sandy River Delta. I want to give you the camera shot here from I-84. This is the ODOT camera near 257th. So just east of Troutdale now at this point. And now we're going to a live shot from photojournalist Eric Patterson. You can see the black smoke in the air there and what looks like some embers that are shooting out from that. Again, that's on the Sandy River Delta, just east of the Sandy River, just east of the Troutdale exits on Interstate 84. We'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, the rest of our freeway drive this morning is in pretty good shape. I can tell you, no other major trouble out there. We will certainly bring you up to speed on what's going on with that fire out in the Troutdale area in the next couple of minutes, guys.
Thank you, Chris.
This is where my dreams come true. The dream continues to expand. This is such a remarkable facility, state, community, town, everything here, and this is where I started.
That was former Trailblazers legend Bill Walton, back in 2019, that is, at the Blazer bike ride. Walton died yesterday at the age of 71 after a long battle with cancer. Of course, he also led the Blazers to their only NBA title in 1977.
Yeah, Walton made a big impact on the team, but also in the community. Devin Haskins joins us now with more on Bill Walton's legacy. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning. Bill Walton's legacy began well before he came to Portland. He was a star at UCLA, named College Player of the Year 3 times, and helped lead the Bruins to 2 national titles. The Blazers picked Walton first in the 1974 draft. 3 years later, in 1977, he helped the team win its first and so far only NBA championship. He left Portland and played for the Clippers and then helped Boston win it all in 1986. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993 and began an award-winning career as a TV broadcaster for both college and NBA games. He overcame a stutter and was known for his on-air reflections, ones that made you want to listen to what he had to say. We talked with a teammate of his on that 1977 Trailblazer championship team, who said Walton's remembered as one of the best teammates and a guy who loved everything about the game of basketball.
Just a lot of good memories with Bill. Bill was the ultimate teammate. He was only into winning. You know, he could have probably scored 30 points a game if he wanted to, but he wanted to make sure that the team ran the way it was supposed to run, and he didn't try to do too much. He did a lot for everybody else.
In a statement, the Trailblazers calling Walton a true legend and an extraordinary basketball player. The team retired his number 32, in 1989. We have more about Bill Walton right now on KGW.com, including reaction and growing tributes from around the NBA and beyond. Drew.
All right, Devin, thank you. Lots of great memories to share about Bill Walton here in Portland. In other local headlines this morning, police in Forest Grove arrested a man they say is tied to a series of slingshot attacks that date back to last fall. KGW's Catherine Cook spoke to a woman who says her car was damaged by one of those attacks.
It hit right about here. Obviously, the window's been replaced.
Cameron Von Clevenger is thankful no one was hurt after an incident that left her back driver's side window shattered.
The object actually came through the shade that I have in the car.
Forest Grove police say that object was a ball bearing launched through Von Clevenger's window with a slingshot.
Yeah, scary.
It happened Wednesday night at Southwest Pacific Avenue and E Street in Forest Grove.
It was about 10 p.m. and we heard a loud crash, and I couldn't really understand or figure out what happened.
On Friday night, police executed a plan. It led them to this same spot at E Street and Pacific. Around 10:30 that night, police arrested the suspect, 28-year-old Caleb Spurlock of Forest Grove. When they searched him, police found a slingshot and container of ball bearings. They also learned Spurlock had hit a passing vehicle with a ball bearing just minutes before his arrest.
Police had been working this case since October. That's when they got their first report of a broken window on this stretch of road. Since then, they say 12 victims have reported damaged vehicles.
I know a lot of my friends and neighbors have been just kind of concerned, and everyone's sharing on social media, like, don't drive here at night.
Cameron is relieved now and a little surprised. She assumed the person responsible had been a kid trying to pull a prank.
Finding out it was a 28-year-old man was a little bit of a bummer for sure. Just to think that an adult is out there doing this kind of stuff.
An adult now facing adult charges. Spurlock was booked into the Washington County Jail on criminal mischief, unlawful use of a weapon, reckless endangering, and assault.
Nice to know that it's been remedied for now.
In Forest Grove, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Also this morning, we are hearing from Clark County firefighters who were responding to a crash when they say a driver hit and killed a Good Samaritan. Fire crews say 42-year-old Jessica Blindbury and her husband stopped Friday night along I-5 north of Ridgefield to help someone who'd crashed into a guardrail. But as crews were packing up to leave, firefighters say a pickup truck veered into the closed-off lane, colliding with the fire truck, then hitting and killing Blindbury. Her husband was also hit and is in critical condition.
Our truck was in the right position, the way it's supposed to be, to protect the scene as much as we can. And our battalion chief was back a quarter of a mile with their lights on, with their indicator arrow on, trying to get people to move over.
44-year-old Guadalupe Munoz has been charged with vehicular homicide.
Well, the winter ski season has officially come to a close as we take this look at Mount Hood. Mount Bachelor, by the way, had its final day on Sunday. Timberline's final day for the season was yesterday. Thank you very much. Timberline finished the season, by the way, with 595 inches of total snowfall. That goes back to September. Of course, if you still want to hit the slopes, there is that possibility up on Mount Hood because of the Palmer Glacier. So skiing could run there through late August. It happens some years anyways. You can also still send your kids and teens up for ski and snowboard camps. The downhill bike trails are set to open in early July.
Yeah, nothing quite like skiing on that Palmer Glacier in the summertime when it's hot.
I've never done it.
Oh yeah, I have multiple times, and it's pretty cool.
You can't be skilled enough to have done that.
No, I've done that.
Really?
What an assumption, Drew.
I thought you had a really good skier to do that.
No, back in the day, I was a pretty good skier. You know, when I worked in Reno back in the early 90s, I skied like 5 days a week.
I apologize.
Yeah, I was an athlete once upon a time. I was taller and better looking as well.
Wow.
All right, here's a look.
What was your name back then? Who were you?
I went by Steve. I went by Steve. That's what people called me. Yeah, Steve. All right. By the way, the snowpack season generally wrapped up at the Mount Hood test site at around 80% of normal. So it was a decent year in terms of total snowfall. Here's where we are right now. Will be rain showers, we think, up at Timberline moving in later this morning. Rain offshore is now actually inland around Clatsop County. You folks in Tillamook will soon be getting some light rain falling as well. The iris on the camera is a little washed out, but it's overcast. We're at 57 from the top of the Wells Fargo building. 53 in Kelso and Salem. The rain now falling in Astoria. 48 in Newport. So all this rain offshore 4 will set the table for our main weather story today. So here's Futurecast, 7 o'clock this morning. I really think Portland will get through the 9 o'clock commute hour with either just some traces of rain or nothing at all. But the rain is coming. Here we are, 7 this morning, mainly Tillamook and Astoria. Now the rain's feeding down to the south. Here we are, 10 o'clock this morning. This is about the time we'll look for the rain to begin picking up. And then it looks like here in the North Valley over Portland, it's going to be fairly steady rain from late morning through 3 or even 4 o'clock this afternoon. This is 3 o'clock. You can see the back edge moving in, and then that kicks out. So for the afternoon drive home, if you get off work at 5 o'clock, should be pretty dry out there with a scattered shower chance, and then we'll have some scattered showers and some breaks feeding in during the day tomorrow. So just today, even though we could have potentially, 4 or 5 hours of fairly steady light rain, only about 1/10 of an inch in Portland and Kelso, 17/100 up in Astoria. So that proves that it's, if this is correct, that it's going to be light rain totals. Now we'll add a little bit to that with scattered showers tomorrow. If we could pick up 2/10 of an inch of rain today and tomorrow total, that would put our month of May rain total for PDX up to about 2.5 inches, which is pretty much normal for the month of May. All right, today, likely rain at the beach filling in, moving south, and that will clear out between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s, not much wind with this. Southwest 5 to 15 at the coast and west 5 to 15 inland. Again, the rain pretty much over for the most part outside of some stray showers no later than 4 o'clock, and it could be a little bit earlier than that. You see the temperatures only around 60 to a little bit warmer. We're all dry on Thursday, Friday. Starlight Parade Day still looks nice, 71 degrees. We've now upped the rain, though, that was going to hold off until Monday, coming in on Sunday, and that's your update.
Okay, thank you.